What's up, Facebook? What's up, YouTube? What's up, Twitter? Hey, it's your boy Billy Ratliff at the Volunteer Road Show, man, and we got some good things to talk about here today. Of course, I got my man Josh Griffin here with me. Hey, I told you this man here is going to be with us this year, and we're going to have some fun all year long. What's going on, Josh?
Not a whole lot, man. Just ready to break down some quarterbacks.
Well, hey, like you said, man, it's just that time of the year where we are going to start breaking out each position. And today we working with the quarterbacks, man. Hey, what's up, man? Tell me about the quarterbacks, man. What do you think about the guys this year?
Well, it's a good-looking squad. Guarantano's got the experience. He's got the talent. And then the two guys behind him aren't too bad either. We've definitely been in worse spots in terms of quarterbacks. Now, that being said, we don't have a whole lot of depth. Most schools are carrying 4 or 5 quarterbacks on campus. We've got 3. So it could be an injury here, an injury there, and we're burning a red shirt on our incoming freshman quarterback, Brian Maurer. So we're kind of walking a tightrope with quarterbacks, but we got a lot of talent at the position. So. And then again, we all know that Guarantano's one of the toughest kids in the country. So I think that accompanied with our beefed up offensive line, we should be okay.
Well, that sounds good, man. So so what you're telling me right now, if Guarantano goes down, let's just say, we know he's going to be our quarterback right now. But if he goes down, do you think JT can come in and contribute without it skipping a beat? You think he'll be able to carry us to the promised land and still get, that 6-7 wins that I actually think we can get right now?
JT Shrout definitely has the talent to be able to do it. And I think that's a little bit of a loaded question. It's all going to depend on when he's tapped. If he's tapped in the back half of the season, absolutely. I think by then we've taken care of a lot of the workload in terms of wins. And out of that last 4 or 5 games of the year, he can probably snag 3 wins, 4 wins, But there is going to be that period of adjustment. So what we don't want to happen, absolutely, is Guarantano goes down, in like the Florida game. Because then we're looking at JT taking over in that stretch of Florida, Georgia, Alabama, South Carolina, Missouri. That would probably be that would probably decimate the season, to be honest. A kid that's not taken any SEC snaps yet, having to come in and deal with that kind of pressure, probably wouldn't bode well for the Vols.
And this is something that while you saying that, I'm a fan of, young players playing early in the season. And that's why I've always loved it when teams do play their first few games where they're not playing like really, really tough opponent, but they're playing quality teams. But still, I always like it when we can get up on teams where we can bring in our younger guys to get some reps, just in case that happened. And that's what happened when I was playing at Tennessee. We always try to run the score up, 65-0, where, you put the next guys in and they can come in and contribute and they feel like they did something. Even if they don't get that much clock, let them feel the game, because the game is totally different from practice. And like you were saying, Brian, what about, say Brian Maurer, this kid, he's a 3-star kid that I read a little bit about. And from what I've heard, he actually fits their system, Pruitt's system, a lot better than both of our quarterbacks we got right now. So what do you think about that?
Yeah, so Brian Maurer is a 3-star kid out of Ocala, Florida. I think my opinion is he was one of the most overlooked, underrated quarterbacks in the 2019 class. The talent that he showed at the opening in his high school, in his senior year in high school, I'm not sure exactly why he only got the 3 stars. I know that you're not a big proponent of the 3, 4, 5-star rating system, but there's something to be said for it. definitely there's a talent gap between the 5-star guys and the 3-star guys. Now, between the 3s and the 4s, and between the 4s and the 5s, I think there's an argument there that any can be converted a level up or a level down once they get to college. But Brian Maurer is by far the best pocket passer, the traditional, stay in the pocket, quick release guy out of all 3 of them. I think that he's going to fit that system a lot better. Hoping that we can get through the season with Guarantano and Shrout carrying the workload. That way we can redshirt Maurer. And then we've got another kid that's coming in behind Maurer. His name's Harrison Bailey, who's he's almost a clone of the prototype quarterback that Maurer is. So we're getting ready to load up at the position. We're just going to be a little thin this year.
Well, I'll tell you this.
Go ahead.
I'll tell you this. I mean, I think I'm kind of loving what you're saying right now, because this is something that I love about practice. When you have guys that are behind you, that are pushing you, that are capable of taking your job, and for you to say that this Brian Maurer kid fits his system, Pruitt's system a lot better, therefore, that tells me that hey, there is some competition over there then. With Guarantano, I mean, he can't just take an off day in practice. I mean, I know he's the leader right now. He's the captain or whatever. But, I love to get pushed by a guy behind me, and I'm hoping that they're using that as an example in practice, because if you don't have that kind of talent that's on that team that's pushing you to play harder, that's what a team don't get a chance to really be successful. They don't get a chance to grow as young kids or even the veterans. I mean, you go down and look at Alabama where they had those 2 quarterbacks down there. I'm telling you, these kids were competing. Even though the 2 quarterbacks on like with Hurts and Tua, those was 2 great quarterbacks on that team. But I'm quite sure there was 2 other guys that was behind those guys that was still working hard to take. Well, they knew they wasn't going to start, but if they didn't show Nick that they was capable of playing, they wouldn't even get a chance to even redshirt. Nick wouldn't even give them the opportunity. So that's what I'm hoping that Tennessee is working on right now with the quarterback position, is building depth. And I know that we don't want to have 5 right now, but we need more quarterbacks coming. And I'm thinking that, and seeing the recruiting process right now, we got these guys wanting to come to Tennessee again. I don't like the fact that, they're calling us, punter U, kicker U, and all that stuff. We need to get back to our roots and get back to what we had, quarterback U, wide receiver U. And, and that's something that I miss. And just to hear you talking about these quarterbacks, the backups, I'm loving it, because all I knew was just our starting quarterback until you was telling me about these kids. And now it's opened my eyes again to realize, hey, we're actually getting kids to come to school now. I didn't realize that, though, Josh. Thank you for letting me know that, man.
Yeah, absolutely. So, Harrison Bailey is a 4-star kid out of Marietta, Georgia. He's from down around where Dobbs came from. The situation for Tennessee next year is going to be a much better situation. You've got Guarantano in his senior year. You've got JT Shrout, who's been right behind Guarantano the entire time. He's a junior. And then Brian Maurer, that's his sophomore year. And then you got this Harrison Bailey kid coming in. Now we're carrying 4 quarterbacks on the roster. And the talent just kind of keeps getting better as you go down the line. So I think it speaks well for the future of Tennessee. Everybody's kind of said, this season's going to be a coin toss kind of season. It could go really good or it could go really bad. I personally think it's going to land somewhere kind of right in the middle. But everything looks really, really good for next year. We've got beefed up offensive line. We've got more offensive line and defensive linemen coming in this next 2020 class. We've got Harrison Bailey coming in at quarterback to beef up the quarterbacks roster. Some really good wide receivers, really good defensive backs. Jeremy Pruitt is recruiting the dog out of some defensive backs now. Seems to me like if they're a marquee defensive back in high school right now, they're eyeing Tennessee really hard. So I think this year is going to go pretty pretty good. I'm hoping that it's a positive. Next year is where we start to see Tennessee not only as a talented team, but a talented team with some depth. And that doesn't spell good news for the rest of the SEC East.
Well, hey, I've said that many times already, man. We are just a couple recruiting classes away to could be competing the way that Tennessee is used to competing. And that's not just the East. I'm saying competing against Alabama, all these guys. I mean, they're not that far behind. Pruitt, like he said, he didn't have the kids to play the system he had. He gave it all he had, and for us to win some of the ball games that they won last year with that talent, I have to give him his props, man. Have to, man.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm just
I mean, to be able to take a 4-8 team that was down on themselves, that had no confidence whatsoever, and to go in and beat 2 top 25 SEC teams, win 2 conference games after having not won any conference games the year before. That was that rock bottom moment that we needed to have. That 4-8 season was the rock bottom moment that the Tennessee program needed to have for them to start moving back in the positive direction. And I think Jeremy Pruitt's got it headed that way. I've got a question for you.
Talk to me.
As a defensive player, what out of a quarterback is the hardest thing for you to defend? What characteristic or skill set for you is the toughest skill set when you're trying to get to that passer? What's the hardest thing for you to deal with?
Well, I'll tell you this here. I'll give you something that was told to me when I got hurt my last game, and I got a call from Coach Steve Spurrier. Coach Steve Spurrier, he told me that all the years that we lost to them, he said, "No, guys, you guys were way more talented than us. We use what I call get rid of the ball a lot quicker before you guys can get to us. We never did anything over a 3-step drop. We're trying to snap this ball and get rid of it quick. 1, 2, 3, get rid of it. And as a defensive lineman, 3-step drop, you don't have time to get to him. Most of the time, the only thing we can do is jump up and knock the ball down. And most of the time, that's not going to happen because you don't know where he's throwing it at. So I would probably say, man, getting rid of the ball, the 3-step drop is the hardest thing or the worst thing that we have because, we're working our tail off to try to get to this quarterback. And when you can't get to him and you wore out and these guys here punching you, hitting you in your ribs and stuff, you didn't like it. So I would probably say the 3-step drop. And that's something that I always thought, Tennessee should have done with Guarantano. Let him get rid of the ball or give him a chance to read if they did, because when they start talking about, we're running the spread option, I didn't see that. The spread option is totally different when it comes to just a pre-read play. When it's an option, you're supposed to have 2 options, whether to hand it off or keep it. So, yes, I would probably say, yes, the 3-step drop is a defensive lineman's worst nightmare. They don't get a chance to get to the quarterback.
So we've got the receivers that have the big bodies, that have that ability to go up and snatch the ball out of the air, go over the backs and over the tops of the defensive backs. What I think that we're missing in terms of weapons that would help the quarterbacks, especially Guarantano, perform more, is that speed back or that speed receiver. That guy that's got the 4.3, 40 speed that can just get open quick. And I'm wondering how that's going to affect Guarantano's play this season. Now, granted, he should have more protection. They said in media days, Pruitt said that they took an offensive line that had 2 guys over 300 pounds and beefed them up to where there's now 15 of them. That accompanied with a couple of 5-star offensive tackles in Wanya Morris and his name's slipping my mind now. But
well, I mean,
anyway,
that's cool. I mean, I understand that. I mean, that's something that I know that we got over there. We've had over there. There's a lot of kids over there for as the receiver was, and we're going to get to those guys too, man. And guys, I'm just going to say this here. The Vols have what it takes to compete to a sense of not getting abused this year. And that's something that we have been done for so long. I used to call these type of teams stat teams. We're going to play Vanderbilt, or we're going to play, Arkansas, or just any team that wasn't Florida when I played. I called them stat teams. We're going to go out here, pad our stats up as an offense or defense or anything like that. And I think we're going to compete this year and let everybody know that Tennessee is not to be reckoned with or played with anymore like they've been doing. So, guys, we're going to get out of here real quick, you know what I'm saying, because we got some more things to talk about. And I got my man Josh here with me. Catfish, I know he want to be on here with him, but he's on that road all the time. He don't have that internet speed, and he hate to give you a product that he don't like. So stay tuned, guys. I mean, we're going to talk
right.
soon.
Don't forget to also check out the website. We're going to have an article coming out about the quarterbacks, go a little more in depth of what each quarterback skill set is. That's on volunteerroadshow.com. And also, we've got upcoming later this week our breakdown of the wide receivers video.
Well, I can't wait to talk about those, man. Get back to wide receiver U, because we got those guys, man. Hey, guys, thanks for tuning in. Like we always say, man, don't forget to like, share this video. YouTube, subscribe to the channel so you can get alerts whenever we come up, and we're having a good time all the time. So like I said, thanks for watching. Go Vols.